All right, we on another episode of Talk with Tim. I'm here with the lovely First Lady Lillie. How you feel?
Hola.
How you feeling today?
I'm great.
You want to give the people a little background about yourself?
Uh, gosh. Lillie Ennis, born and raised in the Boogie Down Bronx. I'm a New York City girl, now transformed Connecticut, right? Um, what a lot of people don't know actually is my background is in medicine. So I actually came to Connecticut by ways of Sacred Heart University, and I took up physical therapy at a very young age. I just kind of grinded my way into healthcare, where I was, a hospital administrator there, in the rehab and wellness department. And I did well for myself, but I was then diagnosed with breast cancer. God is good. I'm 16 years healed. But in the process of going through my journey with breast cancer, the hospital did this huge merger and they did a layoff. And unfortunately, I was out of a job. And under the American Disabilities Act, it's illegal for them to do that. So I sued them, but life humbled me because I lost the case. I didn't have enough hotshot lawyer money like them. And that's when I really realized, like, it's not really what you know, rather it's who you know. But it's good that that happened. I have this, like, saying, I call them Lilyisms. And one of them is everything comes to promote you, because I'm grateful that it didn't turn out the way that I did, because that kind of awakened the grind in me. So that's when I went from medical Lily to business shark Lily. And so I started building my empire really from that moment on. That's when I launched the Lillie Ennis group. That's when I started managing, my ex-husband and my son at the time, DJing, getting big into nightlife, using my resources. And then from there, definitely growing into network marketing. Everything's always about the next flip. So from there, I became a businesswoman, but I actually never took a business course.
Wow. I did not know you were from New York.
Really? I'm from the Boogie Down
I never knew
Bronx.
that.
Yeah.
What was the transition like from living in New York to living in CT?
Oh, child. I think the first 3 nights in college, I cried because I wasn't even just like in Bridgeport. I was at Sacred Heart University. So going from hearing sirens every day, neighbors fighting, like, believe it or not, somebody else will hear that and think it's chaos, but to me, it was comfort. It was home. My bedroom was right above the bodega. So ding 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 ding, and I just became so numb to the noise. So here I am, my first couple of days in Connecticut, and it's quiet. And I'm like, I could hear crickets, I could hear rustling, the leaves, like, oh my God, this is so different. I remember being hungry at like 1 a.m. and everything being closed. And like, what am I supposed to eat? Like, the bodega's not open, there's nothing around. So there was a big cultural shift for me. But I honestly ended up loving Connecticut.
Speaking of bodegas, what is your typical deli slash bodega order when you go in there?
Chopped cheese all the way.
What you get on the chopped cheese?
The way that it comes. Not no salmon, not no alterations. You just go in and you say, yo, I want a chopped cheese, and that's it. Like,
That's it?
that's how it goes. Like, you just say bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Like, that's just how it's ordered. Like, that's it.
All right. Who you think got better pizza, New York or CT?
100% New York. 100%. I'm not even arguing with people from New Haven no more about this whole pizza thing. Yeah, y'all got decent pizza. I've tried, or how they say, a beats, right? No, a New York slice is what it is. It's in the oil. It's in the water. Do you know that there's people that literally, like bakeries in other states, that buy New York water by the gallon, because it's the water that makes the dough and everything else taste different. It's New York water.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So specifically the Bronx or just New York in general?
New York in general. Like, bagels taste different in New York. Pizza tastes different in New York. It's
Okay.
I don't know. It's better. It's better.
All right. So we talked about your name being First Lady. How did you get the name First Lady?
it's so funny because I've always been into God, right? Always been into God. And it's when I go to these like religious conferences and I network with people there, they'll see my Instagram handle and they'll go, First Lady, oh my God, like, ooh, what church are you the First Lady of? And I'm like, no, 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 not that kind of First Lady. So I was very instrumental in building the sibling music empire with my ex-husband at the time. We were in college. We were college sweethearts. That's how we met. I ended up having my son my senior year of college. And that's what kind of solidified me staying in Connecticut. I didn't want to raise Bam in the Bronx. And he always wanted to do music. So we started booking him for certain gigs because I was involved in like every freaking club in Sacred Heart University. And I remember buying him his first turntables. And so when I bought Sibling his first turntables, from there, it was this affectionate thing where he was like, yo, you're the first lady of sibling music. And I will give him his props because where other people in the industry and in that area kind of like hid their relationships, he definitely put his wife and his children at the time on the forefront and at the scene. So it just became a thing. It's like first ladies here, first ladies here, first ladies here.
I don't know. Maybe because I'm younger, I didn't really. I thought you just popped out of nowhere.
No.
Like the last, I want to say, pandemic till now. Like I didn't know of you before then, so it's great to hear that you were like instrumental.
Maybe because I'm older, right?
Okay.
So I'm older, but it's crazy because I'm older, so I was always in the scene. I was big in nightlife. Like even down to Sacred Heart days, a good friend of mine, Gaetano, he's how we started getting venues. And were you around like for the Best H days?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so those were connections and relationships that I made.
Okay.
So I was kind of always the plug because I networked a lot. So that was my transition from college to nightlife. I was heavy in the reggae scene big time, obviously because my ex-husband, that's his genre. But I also did a lot in hip hop as well. And then when my son, I had to do a lot of gigs. Well, Bam was little, so Bam's been DJing since he was what? Really like doing gigs, maybe 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't have the weekends to be with my girlfriends or stuff like that. When everyone else is enjoying their holidays, you have to remember with our industry, that's when we work the most. So my holidays, my weekends, my youth was spent driving around the little boy to all his gigs because who's gonna set up the speakers? Who's gonna drive him? So now, although I'm older, it's like a part of me still had to be, maybe that's when I was introduced to you, because now I have a 16, 17, 18-year-old that's in the club, and I'm not gonna let him be out alone.
Right.
So that's kind of like how I have an older audience, but also a younger audience as well, and then a mid-range audience.
Yeah, because I always used to see you at all the events, and I'm like, who is this lady? She's just walking through the lines, just walking back behind the doors. I'm like, what? Who is this lady? Like, she's just known everywhere. I'm like, who is this? So now we see why.
Now it makes sense.
Okay. So explain like the cultural shift between I don't know if you're Puerto Rican or you're Puerto Rican. Okay. So explain the cultural shift between the Spanish side and your obviously adopted Jamaican side.
So everyone thinks I'm Jamaican. I am so not Jamaican. I am if you see me Saturday mornings, you will see how Latina I am. I'm cleaning the house to salsa, like around the holidays, that's when more of the Latin tradition comes out. But I always taught my children, I wanted them to know both their cultures. So I was the wife that was cooking maybe arroz con gandules, but with brown stew chicken, because I wanted them to know both cultures. So for a good period of time, I also did business out in Jamaica too. So they know me out there. So a lot of people think I'm Jamaican, but I promise you I'm just straight up Latina from the Bronx. But it's weird because when you're in the Bronx, you're everything, right? So you have black guys that'll walk into the bodega and they asking for papi and they talking to him in Spanish. So it's just this big melting pot. Like even the white people and Asian people in New York City, they're culturally diverse as well. So I think it's just the New Yorker in me.
Favorite reggae song?
Reggae song?
Reggae / dancehall.
Can I tell you my favorite artist?
Okay.
Because I don't necessarily have a favorite reggae song, but my artist, hands down, Taurus Riley. I will go see that man in concert anywhere. Like, he knows me. He knows I'm his #1 fan. He acknowledges it. We got video. Like, he takes me behind in the concerts because he's like, oh, Lily's here. Like, that's my
More
artist.
places she going behind the scenes. It's crazy, man. What? So all right, so break down your typical work day for us, because I know you're like a busy woman. So break it down for us.
So, okay, I'm just getting out of trucking now. Not really out of trucking, but I'm selling my trucks and I'm keeping what we call my authority. So technically I'm in trucking, but I'm taking a different role. So because I have trucking, I have my credit enhancement and lending company as well. I'm a business coach and a life coach. Nightlife for a minute, right? And then on top of that, a speaker and an author. It gets crazy. So what I do is, and then I also am a mom. That's my #1 role. So a lot of times, Bam is older now, so he doesn't need me as much. That's why you won't really see me out with nightlife that much. That transition happened this summer. But on a typical day prior to that, I'd be waking up at 6:30 a.m. for my little one, going to the gym for at least a half an hour, getting some stuff in because I'm greedy. I eat a lot. And then my first meeting or first client coaching-wise would be 8, 9 o'clock. I'll do that. Midday, I might shift and transition to a different business model. And then as soon as my son comes home after school, I'm helping with homework, taking him to practice, doing whatever I need to do. Then it's almost like the next shift kicks in. And then I'm handling business again, and then I'm running out the door to make it to like a grill to or an evening event, and then I'm pretty much with Bam till like about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, only to do it all over again. So what I have mastered doing is changing my schedule based on the days. So for example, Tuesdays is Treat Me Tuesdays. Before 12 o'clock, I don't speak to anybody. It's all about me doing self-care, getting my nails done, getting a massage, doing something, because if not, I'll lose my mind. On Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays is big Lillie Ennis group days. On Tuesdays and Thursdays is more trucking stuff. And then the weekends is obviously heavily nightlife and stuff like that. So I have to divvy it up into days. If not, I'll lose my mind.
Okay. Why did you decide to keep the last name?
Because I made it. As no disrespect to Mr. Ennis, but that is my name. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. That's my brand. That's me. It's the Lillie Ennis group. Like, I have it registered. I have it, copywritten, all of that. I've written books. Plus, also, it's my kid's last name. So that's me. Lily Orellana, which is my maiden name, she kind of got left in the Bronx. So Lillie Ennis is who is home. Lillie Ennis is Connecticut. If you ask, it's so funny because people will walk up to my kids and they know my ex-husband as Sibling or Sibling Music. So he built that brand. But as far as the last name, that's me. So people know Ennis for me.
Okay. What character trait do you attribute your success to?
Discipline, for a fact. I would say either discipline or competitiveness. I am when I set my eyes on something and I say I'm going to do it, it's like I have tunnel vision. I eat, sleep, breathe that until it gets done. And I'm also competitive. I'm so driven. Like, if you want to get me to do something, make it a competition. Like, for example, people have been trying to get me to get into podcasting. And I'm like, I don't want to. But I bet you if you made some type of, I don't know, podcast competition and challenge me somehow, that's probably how you get me to do it. Like, I'm just such a competitor by nature.
Okay. What sign are you?
I'm a Libra,
Yo,
the
this is
best sign on the
crazy.
planet. It's a national holiday, September 28th. I am so into my zodiac sign. It's not even funny. And you're not supposed to really be into zodiac signs, but like,
Wow.
I'm Libra all day, every day. I rep Libra gang all
Wow.
day.
Yeah, I get a lot of. I don't know. I guess I attract Libras on this. Like, all my like female friends are Libras. Like, I don't know
We're the
what.
best
Yeah,
people on the earth, and you love a Libra forever.
yeah. I suppose. Um, let's talk about your. Let's go with advice you would give for a young woman that looks up to you, that want to go in your lane.
They want to go into what, like entrepreneurship?
Yeah. Yep.
Be authentic. I think that we live in a society right now where females feel a lot of pressure to have to be something else or be someone else or following someone else's shadow. But I feel like it's almost like, you know, the way that God designed all his creatures, right? Like he made humans, he made bees. Bees aren't even supposed to fly, but the way that he designed them, they're able to fly. Porcupines, and I know this is such a random answer, but it's what it is, right? So porcupines have this defense mechanism where if you get too close, they can poke you. I feel like as humans, we were all designed with like this super innate feature. And I think that people are more successful because they haven't tapped into what makes them unique and them, because we live in a society of likes where everyone wants to be liked. Everyone wants to shadow somebody else. With me, what you see is what you get. You might see me in the club on Saturday night, but you're going to see me at church on Sunday morning. I'm me. I don't have to. I'm known for being very opinionated. Like, I don't sugarcoat shit. What you see is what you get. If I disagree with that, I'm not gonna tell you I agree with it just to be in union with you. Like, we could respectfully disagree. If you pay attention to social media, everyone wants to be so liked that they're afraid to have a difference in opinion, because now we have cancel culture, right? Or on Facebook, you know, people are afraid to say, hey, I don't think that that's the right way of thinking. But if you don't open your mouth and speak, then how can people expand their horizons? How can people possibly be like, wow, yo, I never thought about it that way, right? So I think that the key to success or winning at a high level is being organic to you. Like, how many times have women maybe said stuff like, oh, well, I don't want to do lashes or hair because she does lashes and hair. That's not your only lane. If homegirl is selling hair, then maybe you need to be the one that's selling the plastic that the hair is gonna go in. What are you into? How do you take your unique thinking ability or your personality or yourself? This is a day and age where it's the easiest thing to make money.
Yeah.
E-commerce, you can make money. Money is in abundance. There is an infinite ways to make money, but you're too busy trying to be somebody else.
Powerful. Um, on that topic, how do you manage to like balance out the two? Because you know you're like a successful woman, and typical women like in your status won't like rub shoulders with like regular people. Like you rub shoulders with politicians, and then you'll come to like a grill too and just sit with the regular people. Like, how do you find a balance to do something like that?
I'm glad you asked that question, because I feel that this year my humility has actually kicked my ass. I think that I've always believed in being humble. I see people as people. There was a podcast I actually just posted about it. Samuel L. Jackson said that a lot of the roles that he got that he might not have gotten and fallen into that whole black actor community is because he was always kind to everyone on set. So a lot of people who were personal assistants at the time to these big time producers ended up becoming the producers and reaching back out to him because of how he was. I firmly believe that people will forget the things that you say, people will forget the accomplishments you have, but they will never forget how you make them feel. And I believe that the same way the elevator goes up, the elevator comes down. And who knows if one day, you know, I might have snubbed somebody and that's the same person that I might need to open a door for me one day. I firmly believe in humble. The bad part about that is that that mentality is good, I want to say 90% of the time, right? You got to remember, my son is in these streets. He's a flashy dude. I'm pretty sure sometimes, I tell Bam all the time, you are a walking lick. Like, why, why you have to be so flashy? He acts like he's from the Bronx, from Harlem. But I'm pretty sure that because of the kindness of his mom or other family members, there's people who will probably look out for my child and be like, yo, she's so humble, she's so dope, like, nah, don't touch him. Because these streets are ugly.
Definitely.
They're ugly, and they don't got love for a lot of people.
Yep.
But because I've always give back, you see, when you have success, you have to make sure that your success is inclusive to others. People can't cheer for you if they don't feel like it's their victory too. So I never made everything about me. I made everything about we. Like, we built basketball courts in Bridgeport. We did. I could have easily said me, me, me. Yeah, I did the fundraisers. Yeah, I put up a bunch of the cash for that. But we did that as a community. So when we do things as a community, we're going to care about it, and we're also going to take care of it. So, yes, it's good to be humble, but by the same token, that 10% brought me into low-level experiences. That 10% brought me to be around people or situations that a woman like me had no business being in. So it sucks for the 10% of those experiences, but it's also beautiful for the 90% where I'm able to be in certain rooms, and I'm also able to be the connector. Yeah, I might be around this millionaire. Like, for example, Tuesday, I was talking to this man, and he's an investor, and he's looking for people to invest in. I made a phone call right there and then, and connected him to someone who wasn't in the room. So I feel like that's what God purposed me to do. And I don't feel like I'm going to really change too much. I might be a little more cautious going into 2024 from low-hanging fruit in people, but I still want to remain authentic to who I am. That's who I am. I'm going to turn up with the politicians, and I'm going to invite them to grill too. It's okay.
So last year you announced that you saved a half a ticket. You want to explain to the people like the steps, how you got there?
I sure will. So I went over it in my master class, and I was very transparent. I put receipts. And it's so crazy because, again, that 10% that I was talking about, the low-hanging fruit, that's the first thing that they want to attack. When you are accomplishing something and you're operating in your purpose, that's the first thing that haters are going to want to take down. But you also have to realize if you're not on the top, people are not going to try to take you off the top, right? So I had this huge goal. I've always been open to different streams of income, right? But the little Bronx, New York girl in me that's seen uncle's cousin play, dice in the street and stuff like that, I have a gambler instinct in me. Like, I'm really that person. I'll take a chance on something where other people might be apprehensive. See, when you present opportunity, there's two types of people in the world. They look at the word opportunity and they see scam, and then they look at the word opportunity and they actually see come up. So you just got to ask yourself, when people present opportunity, which one are you? And so, for example, a lot of my big money came from the industry of network marketing. Direct sales. So when people thought they were too cool to do certain things, I saw opportunity. Other people called it a scam. I traveled around the world and created a community and flipped a good amount of bread doing that. That's when I made my first, solid 6 figures outside of, the hospital industry, the healthcare industry. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I could do this and work from home. This is lit. So there were a lot of opportunities that came to me. And I said, I kept trying to hit the goal for like the past 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't hit it. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, I kept trying to save money to hit the goal. Mm-hmm. And finally something clicked. I went to a conference. I paid $15,000 to go to this conference. Yes. So I pour a lot back into me. I pour a lot back into here. Mm-hmm. And at this conference, they said, you can't save your way to wealth. Mm. And I was like, boom, that's it right there. You have to actually risk things and make investments. So someone came to me and taught me about what's called AI accounts. Mm. And are you familiar with the industry of foreign exchange? trading?
No.
Forex. So you can exchange currencies and you can make a flip off of that. But you have to, these people literally stand in front of these computers for hours, measuring this, doing this, making their trades. I don't want to do that. If I don't find something interesting, I'm not going to do it. Right. But I was fortunate enough, again, for attending that conference. It put me in certain environments, certain Discords, certain telegrams of just information, certain networks that I needed to be in. Right. And they said, oh, we don't do that. This man is a billionaire. He's telling me I don't got time to sit in front of the screen. I have the AI bot do it. I said, oh, what? Wait, what? He said, yeah, I could put you on, but there's an entry fee to be in this community. So I said, well, what's the entry fee? He said $120,000. I said, okay. It pays to have access, right? You have to pay to get access. You can't buy a lottery ticket for free. You have to purchase it in order to be to have the opportunity. So all of the year before, I said, yo, I got to come up with this bread for this open door, because he says we only allow entry certain amount of things. So I came up with the bread. I said, here's this. He said, now you got to come up with the investment money. So I definitely did that. Wow. And it started trading on my behalf. Then what's crazy is that I did a Bitcoin flip. And that did well for me. But the same way I did a Bitcoin flip and it did well for me, I took a big hit this year. Okay. So you have to be willing, you have to have emotional maturity when it comes to investments. The other big thing that I feel a lot of Black and brown people don't do enough, that is a big key to wealth, is life insurance. Life insurance is a big way to gain wealth for you and other people. The same amount we spend in the clubs on some drinks, you can spend that much on just instead of one night, a month, and put yourself in a financial position to be ahead 10 years from now. So I've always been good with money. I've always read books about financial literacy. They always say if you want to hide something from people, put it in a book. So I'm a big time reader. And that 500K came from the AI accounts, the Bitcoin flip, life insurance, and then just my usual saving methods.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of money you shelled out. Yeah, but
people have to remember, it's not liquid, right? So, for example, there was something I needed money for this year, and I had to come up with an emergent 60K for this real estate investment I wanted to do. So when I went to go pull the money out one of the accounts, I had to pay taxes on that. So I might be taking out 60K, but I got to come up with the 8K to take out the 60K. Does that make sense? Yeah, right? Yeah. So it's not like, oh, it's just in one account or it's under the mattress. No, like it's in different accounts. Okay. And based on those accounts, I've also purchased stock. So my stock portfolio was also in that 500K as well.
Wow. All right, let's pivot. What's your dating life looking like right now since you're not married?
It's so anymore. Ghetto out here.
It's ghetto?
Yeah.
What's ghetto?
It is so ghetto. I remember I realistically started dating. So after I left my ex-husband, I want to say I was single, like really, really single for 2 whole years. So that was in 2019. So for 2020, COVID hit. I was to myself. I was kind of like dating myself. So I went through a stage where I wanted to make sure I wasn't broken when I started dating again, because it was a really public and nasty affair that I went through, right? So I wanted to date myself. I would take myself to restaurants. Every Sunday I would buy myself flowers because I wanted to not lose how I expected someone to come in and treat me. Because if you trying to give me scraps, baby, you can't treat me less than what I treat myself. I give myself the finest of things. See, that's the problem. A lot of girls right now, they want men to do for them, but they want them to do things that you don't even do for yourself. Like, you want him to take you to Tao, but you don't even take you to Cheesecake Factory. You take you to Tomlinson's. So, like, something doesn't add up, okay? I'm not saying don't be ambitious, girlfriend. I'm not saying don't let a man court you properly, but you can't expect more from a dude than you're willing to give yourself, okay? So when I first started dating, it was almost like a kid in a candy shop because my ex-husband, I met him, I was 17 years old. That's my college sweetheart. That's all I knew for 20 years. So now I'm like, oh, he's handsome, he's handsome. But I learned quickly that I was making a lot of mistakes because I was giving people access to me that shouldn't have access to me. I was giving people access that were watering down my brand. I was giving people access, just again, that humility aspect, like, oh, well, I'll give him a shot. And people were like, what? He don't make six figures. He don't do this. He don't do that. And in my mind, I'm like, but it's okay. I have my own money. Like, it's not a big deal as long as he's nice to me. And that just wasn't the case. So my first summer of really like dating was ghetto as hell. I hated it. And I decided like this year, I just took a step back and had to slow things down because unfortunately, Connecticut is a very small place. So I would be seen maybe having like even just a business lunch dinner, like business lunch or business dinner. And the word on the streets was like, oh, she's sleeping with him. No, I'm not. Like, and why are you so invested? So I don't feel like in Connecticut, at least, I've had the comfortability and the privacy that's needed to really fully explore dating. So I had to just put it on pause. Because I'm still learning, right? Like, I didn't go through my hot girl summers. I didn't go to my college. I was literally married in college.
Okay.
I was tied down at a young age. I was a mom. I was cooking dinners when I should have been doing spring break, you know? So what people had the grace to learn in their youth, I didn't because I was already tied down. And now that I'm older, it's like people expect me to know things that I should have known, but I never went through that stage.
So do you prefer married life over single life?
100%. I feel that Lillie Ennis, who she is at core, is a wife. Like, I feel like that's in my DNA. That's who I'm supposed to be. And I feel it's very strange because you have a lot of men out here that want wives, but they don't really want to be husbands. And I feel that there's a huge disconnect. Now, it's almost like there's this social media war between men and women. And I hate that I'm kind of like stuck in it because I'm in a stage where, yes, I do desire to be a wife again. But then the dating pool has married men in it too. And I experienced that firsthand because that's what my ex-husband did to me. You know, so in my core value system, a lot of people will misjudge me because they see me as a powerful woman, but they don't know the Christian side of me that is so willing and ready to surrender and submit and be a wife again. I want to be a pit bull in a skirt in these streets. I want to handle my business, but when I get home, I want to be a kitten. I want to make it play. I want to do the wifely things. I want to, you know, have covenant with someone. But unfortunately, in today's day and age, the dating scene is very different from that. People don't really desire marriage. Do you notice that girls want a dude's cash app, but they're not women nowadays that are like, oh my God, this is what I want my wedding dress to look like. I come from that era where I used to imagine and cut out magazines of this is what I want my wedding to look like. This, I want it to be a bride. I want it to be a wife. And nowadays, women don't really desire that. But can you really knock them, though? Because look how men act. It's the way you act.
Biggest pet peeve?
When people say hey or good morning and don't say nothing else.
Ooh, yeah, I definitely agree with you.
It's like, get to the point. Tell me what you want because I have 50 text messages coming in a day, and I need to prioritize these text messages. And sometimes people be like, yo, you never got back to me because all you said was hey.
Yeah, just say everything you got to say.
Just tell me what you need, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to call you in 5.
Right.
Or da-da-da-da. Or, hey, I got this. Because if you don't tell me what you need, I don't know.
5 things you cannot live without day to day.
Prayer. God is, oh my God, he's the center of my life, my world. He's what gives me energy when I don't want to do business, because we have those days where I'm like, I'm not doing shit today. He's the one who grants me favor to be a good mom. He's the one who allows like the critics and the bullshit to just roll off my back and say, girl, that's just noise. They don't even know you. If they knew you, they think differently, right? Um, he's my business partner. He's the person I ask, like, is this a good move? Like, it sounds good, but I'm scared, right? Because we all have those moments where like, oh, it's too good to be true. No, it's for you, girl. Take it, you know? So God and prayer life is first. I can't live without my kids. My kids are my world. My kids are why I eat, sleep, breathe, grind, do half of the things that they do. My children is super important for me. My friendships. My friends are more like my family. Like, I have family members that I don't even really speak to that often, but my core group of friends, I can't live without them. I feel like a mom. Like, I have to check on them every day, too. Like, I didn't hear from you. My best friend lives all the way in California. You know, I have Janae, who you probably see with me often when I'm out. Nate, like, I just have to check on them. I'm like such a mother hen. I literally call all my friends. Literally, they can tell you. If they don't speak to me every day, they feel like something's wrong. Like, I didn't hear from you today. I was sick like maybe 2 weeks ago. I had the flu. And they're like, we didn't hear from you. And they will come find me. So God, my children, friends and family, reading. I'm a big time reader. I need to listen to some type of either, if it's not reading, I definitely do what I call like IPAs, income producing activities. I maybe have to listen to either a podcast. I need something to like fuel my brain. Like, I'm really big on challenging myself mentally. Like, I like stimulating conversations. And the last thing is Candy Crush. I am not even gonna sit here and hold you.
This is a fact. I done seen you play Candy Crush and grew too. I'm like, yo, no way.
I have to play a game. Like, I literally have to play a game. Like, my brain has to be doing something that I find stimulating. Like, I can't just sit there and not think. Like, I have to be working. I have to be moving. I'm a workaholic, so I have to do something. Like, my brain doesn't know how to just chill out. I don't know what that's like. So, yeah, Candy Crushing games. It could be Tetris, Block, but something. I'm even going to go on FanDuel. I gamble. I'm going to play some kind of game. It's my little hobby. It's my fulfillment.
Worst fear?
Worst fear? I think I'm living in my worst fear right now, if we're going to be completely honest. My biggest fear is letting my children down. Everything that I do for them. Like, they are a huge driving force. For example, in the industry of network marketing, one of my goals was to hit the next rank, right? That's how you make this much more income. And I remember working through having walking pneumonia and having to put 11 more sales in. And I had promised my children we were going to go on this vacation to win this next rank. I bought them their clothes. I said, we're flying out. We're going to hit that stage because mommy's going to hit this goal. And I didn't want to be a liar to them, and I didn't want to let them down. And I remember having walking pneumonia, being in the hospital, coming out the hospital, having 24 hours to hit this deadline, and I made those 11 sales.
Wow.
I made those, barely could speak.
Wow.
I made those 11 sales because I will not let those kids down. And I think that's the biggest challenge right now, because as I now have an adult child, right? And the industry that he's in is scary. So trying to find my mothering skills now is scary. And what's also scary is that trying to have a certain level of respect for my son, it's almost like I'm learning dating while he's learning dating, right? So in the last 2 years, he's become this man. He's in relationships. He's learning dating. And shoot, like, I have to learn it too. but I have to learn it in front of him. And a lot of the people that are trying to pursue me are pursuing me in front of him.
Okay.
And it's like being afraid to make certain mistakes as a woman, because again, like I said to you, the grace that other women have had at a younger age dating, I didn't have that. I was already tied down. So trying to be that mom that still makes my children proud, but also being human enough to say, wow, like I'm still figuring things out myself and I don't want to let them down, especially because I have boys and boys are different about their mama.
Yo.
And I'm pretty sure it's not easy for Bam having a pretty mom. A pretty mom that a lot of people want to talk to all the time, you know? So, yeah.
All right.
You getting everything out of me today. I am being full-blown 100%. I'm telling you, didn't I tell you I'm an open book?
Definitely
People just don't ask the
book.
questions. I am an open book.
I know this interview was supposed to be short, but we getting into it.
Go ahead.
Any advice you would give your younger self if you could go back in time?
Yeah. Oh my God. There's so much things I would tell that beautiful girl. Oh, I would tell her to dream even bigger. Because I always thought big. That's one thing my friends always told me. Yo, we keep you around because you think big. Like, if anyone around you is going to tell you it's probably not possible, I'm the one that's going to tell you, nah, we can figure out. I don't know how, but we're going to figure it out and we're going to do it. Like, I've always just felt like anything was possible. I don't know why God blessed me with that mindset, but I always did. So I would tell my younger self to think bigger and to not rush into things so soon. I'm very impulsive, super impulsive. I feel like I'm a cat with 9 lives. I got mad lives. Like, I'm very daring. So, like, if you were to tell me, hey, like, you want to go jump off this cliff into water? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Oh, you want to try this? Yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm just super impulsive, and I've said yes to a lot of things that I should have said no to. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Take your time.
Least favorite thing about yourself?
Least favorite thing? I'm so greedy. Like, I am so, like, I think about food. I dream about food.
No.
I'm so serious, and I hate it. I feel like such a glutton. Like, I really love food, and it's just like, that's why I've done certain challenges like 75 hard before to kind of just get myself back in a zone fitness-wise. I just feel like I would physically look so much different if I didn't have an eating problem. I hate that I'm so greedy. I hate that I don't got no shame. Like, if you ever been to like a wedding or a baby shower, I'm going to go for that plate first. And I'm going to let everybody know I'm skipping the line. I want to eat. Like, I have no chill, like zero shame. Like, I don't care. I'm going to go get the plate. I want to eat. And maybe sometimes I wish I wouldn't say half of the things that I say. I'm very opinionated. And I'm a very bold person. So when you see me in those rooms with those politicians and all that stuff, I'm still Lillie. They don't get a whitewashed version of Lillie. They don't get a watered down version. They get Lillie.
Okay.
So, like, if the food is trash, I'd be the type to be like, I'm in the mood for some fried chicken. I don't know about y'all. Where we going after this?
Yo.
Right hand of God. Ask any one of them. Like, the mayor knows. He'd be like, here comes Lillie.
Oh, God.
She gonna say it. 100%. That's why even when I did the, you know how recently we were having an issue with hookah in certain venues? I marched right over to Joe's office. Yes, I did. I told the mayor, I'm starting a petition. I know I saw you smoking some kind of something in the city the other day. So I'm good. Like, I'm just very bold like that. Like, if I feel it, I'm going to say it. I'm going to do it. And I don't care. It's either you're for me or you're against me. And I'm okay with either way.
Wow. How important is image to business owners and influencers?
I think a lot of people don't care about image enough. Image is important. And a lot of people are dropping the ball on image. Like, they're going to kill me. Y'all going to kill me. A cartoon version of you is not branding. It's not a logo. It's trash. Like, my God, where do I start? So, for example, if I'm selling if I'm doing presentations and I'm pitching myself, right? Imagine me pitching myself, selling a product to you at $1,000, and I'm in front of the room with a hoodie. Yeah. I'm sorry, no. Yeah. Hell no. Right. My son can charge what he charges for his gigs, not just because of his talent, but because of his image. Yep. So when I had a meeting, for example, today, I got invited to, VP Records.
Yes.
I'm going to the holiday party.
Oh, nice.
They wanted me there. They said, Lily, we need to have you there because we are doing, and I'm free to say this, they're doing a sector of VP Records where they want to start a travel portion of their company. Okay. And they said, I know you travel. I know everything you do is like top notch, top tier. So we want you to meet with some people at the holiday party, and we're ready to negotiate payment of whatever you request. Do you think that I can request or have those level of conversations with people if I just came out and showed up however? Right. Absolutely not. Of course not. Image matters. That's why for my 40th, people were like, why did you're a pretty girl. Why, you had a nice smile. Why did you get your teeth done? Why did you get a tummy tuck? 100% because my image. If I can invest $15,000 in a conference to sharpen this, and over the years, I've spent money on conferences for this. Spiritually, I've invested in myself. I've invested in myself in every aspect. So if as a woman, because after my divorce, I lost a lot of weight. I said, you know what? I want to walk into 40 also looking like this. You got these people who be trying to pitch to you that they're rich, that they're this, and your teeth is messed up. I don't believe you. Because why you not investing in yourself? You ever notice these people will pitch, I make this much money, but I never seen your car. I don't know what your inside of your house look like. So it gives me a little questionable. I don't believe you. You see, when I walk something and I talk something, it backs each other up. You can come to my home. I live in a very nice place, right? I drive a very nice car. My children ain't starving. They're doing good too. Image matters.
All right. Any last words for the people?
You got this. I think we don't encourage ourselves enough. I believe that a lot of people live in a scarcity mindset as opposed to an abundance mindset. And you winning at a high level doesn't take away from me. You winning at a high level, if I had an opportunity right now where an investor said to me, I want to pump this much money in an entrepreneur. What if he said, well, only in the film area? I could easily turn around and say, well, I'm not in the film area. But I can say, I know someone. He's amazing. I think you should 100%, and I back you, and I make that introduction. I don't have to gain anything from it. I don't want anything from it, actually. But who knows if by putting Tim on, later on down the line, 2 or 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years later, he's working with this filmmaker, and they need someone to mix and master the musical score for that film. Right. He's gonna call Bam. Because I remember XYZ. Right. When people, and it's happened because people have said, hey, you know a good photographer, you know a good this, I've referred them to you. Of course. I don't want anything out of it. Life is cyclical. And I think that we don't encourage each other enough or give each other enough opportunity. And if we only realize how round the world really is, we do a lot more of that. And it costs nothing to tell someone, I believe in you. I like your work. I'm going to refer you to this. So I think that we need to motivate each other more and encourage each other more. And just here you got it, because a lot of times we'll be working on stuff that we're passionate about, and that's where the enemy attacks you the most. That's where the doubt creeps in. I've known people who are creatives, fashion designers, DJs. You know how many DJs I tell them, yo, you killed that set. You did great. They need to hear that. So we need to encourage one another more often. So I would just say to anyone watching this, whatever it is that you're passionate about, you got it. You just got to believe in you.
Well, Lily, thank you for this amazing interview. Very informative, very inspiring.
Thank you.
We hope to see more success from you in the following years and appreciate you for this interview again.
Thank you.
All right, signing out with another episode of Talk with Tim with the lovely First Lady Lillie Ennis.